are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
And while I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And we are celebrating today. We're not celebrating the fact that I've got the Facebook broadcast running yet because I am a little bit behind on that, but we will get that broadcast up and running just a second. Let's find out what the we always have to have a celebration every morning, and every once in a while I come up with a good one. Every once in a while we don't have a good one. We did talk about, National Midwest Day or something a few days ago. It's always something, but I like to try and find something positive, and it generally has to do, me, it almost always has to do with food. But I look today and I see the celebrations of the day, and I'm looking at it and it says National Florida Day. Yeah, not really. That's of no excitement to me there at all. Then I looked at it and it said, what else did I see on there that was really, really exciting for today? National Opposite Day.
You know better than that.
And then I figured, this one might go over pretty well because, it does fit many, many different fronts that I look at on a regular basis. We've got National Irish Coffee Day. Strong coffee, not one of my favorites, but then again, we threw some Irish whiskey in there, little sugar, a rich layer of cream. I think I could probably handle that one. That's a little more up my speed than going with Opposite Day, but there are some folks that can seem to think that I am opposite in most instances. Unbelievable. And we're still having some problems again, I guess, with there we go. I see the Facebook live feed is just about to come online for those of you that are watching us on the Facebook channel, Facebook Live. Checking the markets for you as I do each morning. We'll continue that one. It's been a volatile morning if you've been watching the stock market at all, which some of us do. I start watching it, seeing what the world is doing. Dow Jones Industrial Average, 26,438 right now. It's up 186 points. We had been up 100 points. We dropped down to plus 15. Then we went up. Now we're at 186. Oil up 45 cents a barrel. So we're watching all of those different numbers. Where are they coming from? Why are we seeing such extreme volatility in the markets? Well, there's going to be a lot coming online. We're going to see a lot of this coming in the next, actually, you probably won't see this in the news today because the news is probably going to continue to misrepresent what the president had to say before he left for Davos. He's at the World Economic Summit in Davos. And all we hear on the news is that the president said that he's looking forward to meeting with Mueller. They seem to forget the part of the sentence that says, as long as my attorneys say it's okay. Now, his attorneys, if they've got any kind of ability, they're not going to let him sit there and talk to on that witch hunt. But here's the issue. You may not hear what the president said, and I love this comment. It was this morning, very, very early from Davos. He was sitting there with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And, this kind of fits with something that I am a big, big proponent of. Why the heck do we continue to give free money to people that don't like us, that don't support us, that don't have the same values as we do? So this morning, the president... Well, there we go. We've got some nice feedback there coming from our Facebook channel. I think that's where that's coming from, but we'll continue to monitor that and see what's going on. But the president said, here was the issue that he came up with. He didn't want to hear, with Palestine. He said, something? They don't want to come to the table. They snub our vice president, yet they want our money. So should we continue to give our money to somebody that does not want to support us? He said, no, we're just going to hold on to that money that we were going to be giving to the Palestinians, not going to give it to them. Think they'll come to the table? Did it happen? What happened when the president did the same thing in the United Nations, the anti-American nations? I think that's what I refer to it as. Some people call it the United Nations. I'll just stick with anti-American nations. That's the way they really treat us. So the president continues there, and he says, something, we're taking names, those that don't support our agenda. Well, something, you have that right. You don't have to support the American agenda with everything. But why should we send our money to these people that don't support our agenda? Does that make any sense to anybody? Am I the only one that looks at this and says, something, it's about time that we have a president that's this way, that is looking out for America first? Not America only, but America first. I think that's big time. I'm a big supporter of that. And I'm really glad that the president is out there pushing America, pushing our services. I did watch and see when he came up with the idea. Just recently, they put the tariff on dumping. Now, I used to be in the import-export business, so I understand the dumping issues fairly well. But here's the issue that came along with the dumping, and that was the president just did this with solar panels. Do you remember? Well, you probably don't remember because most people aren't as old as me. Go back to the days when photo albums. Do you remember photo albums way back when? I don't think anybody even had. Well, I was at a funeral earlier this week, and they said the lady had 198 photo albums for her family. But here's the issue. Way back when, China used to send photo albums, and America could not compete with the photo albums that were coming out of China. Why couldn't we compete with them? Well, China was sending them here for about half of what it costs to make. Well, that's called dumping. Well, China's doing the same thing right now with solar panels. Why can't American companies compete? Real simple. Because they're selling it less than cost, because the government is subsidizing it. Just the way it is. So when the president goes and says, something, we're gonna protect American business, we're gonna protect the Americans. Thank goodness. We need somebody that is. It's certainly right now when we watch the issues going on, do you think it's the FBI? Do you think it's Peter Strzok? Well, the FBI lost 50,000 text messages. What would happen if you and I, now you're not hearing this on the nightly news. We checked that. MSNBC, their cable news, they don't talk about this. The Cannabis News Network, they don't talk about this. ABC, NBC, CBS, they're not talking about 50,000 lost text messages. And isn't it ironic? Think about this. Isn't it ironic that those lost text messages, they all came back online the day that Robert Mueller was announced as being the special counsel? Does that surprise anybody? Am I the only one that got surprised by that revelation that 5 months leading up to the placement of Robert Mueller, the text messages are lost between Peter Strzok and his girlfriend? And they both are very high level at the FBI. But then the day that they've got a special counsel, the text messages come back online. Coincidence? I doubt it. I'm not a big believer in coincidence. But Mueller wants to talk to the president. The president says if his attorneys say it's okay, they will do that. Now I think we've kind of got our Facebook Live going in the studio at least, so we can see what's going on. I mean, we were kind of operating in the dark here. Well, I'm always in the dark. But then again, so Mueller wants to talk to the president. President says okay. They've got 1.5 million pages of documentation. I don't even know how you come up with 1.5 million pages of documentation, but the Department of Justice has 1.5 million pages of documents that have been provided from the White House. How much more do you think they need? Can you think they're going to find out anything new from after that? My guess is probably not, but what happens if Mueller and the president do sit down and chat with each other? Well, you get similar things to what happened to, I forget the name of the lady, the chef. She's a big-time chef, but it'll come to me. Or the baseball player, or Michael Flynn. They get him on something that's totally unrelated. Because Martha Stewart, that's it, you're right. Absolutely, Martha Stewart. So they get totally unrelated, right? So what did Martha Stewart get indicted for or convicted of? Lying to the FBI. Kurt Schilling. See, you jogged my memory, Kaaren. Thank you. So, Kurt Schilling, what did he go to jail for? Or what did he get indicted for? He didn't go to jail. Lying to the FBI. What did Michael Flynn? Lying to the FBI. Well, if they ask you enough questions for long enough, something, eventually you're going to forget something, and that's when they get you. So it has nothing to do with collusion. Now, when the president fires Michael Flynn or he fires James Comey after he's already the president, I think that has anything to do with collusion leading up to the election. Totally out of bounds. But the witch hunt continues. We'll talk about it more and more as the days and weeks come. But right now, I have to just tell you, you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, if you're considering selling a house, now might be a good time. If you file your taxes early, when can you expect to get your refund? I've got the schedule. It's right here in front of me. What does the new tax code have to do with self-directed IRAs? Kaaren Hall is going to share that information with us. And boy, we got a lot to cover for you this morning. Remember, you can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. They are the only source I know of for the Fast Pass loan approval. No, I didn't say pre-approval. It's a loan approval. All you need to do is put in the property address, and you need to get clear title, and you're off to running. Maybe you close your loan in as little as 12 days with that Fast Pass approval. Compete with those same as cash offers. So we are looking, I shared this with you in the opening segment, that the stocks market did open up higher this morning. It is up almost 200 points as we speak right now. Well, actually, you know something? Holy cow, you got to figure out what's going on in this market, because right now it's switched around again. So every time I look at it, it's got a new number. And that's normal. I mean, you do see that, but you don't see these big swings. 190 points up right now. So we're kind of volatile for the day, as I shared with you. But let's look at what's going on and what's causing this. Well, stronger earnings from Caterpillar and 3M, but off the best levels. Mortgage bonds lower, testing support, yields trading at about 2.66. And I've shared this with you before. You have to always watch when we talk about the bond. Are we talking about the yield, or are we talking about the bond itself? So the bond right now is actually at, if I got to wait for this thing to come up to repopulate, the bond is up 2 basis points. Not a whole heck of a lot. That means the yield is down a little bit. That they always trade in opposites. The economic news, initial job claims measures individuals filing for unemployment benefits for the first time. 233,000 claims last week represented an increase of 17,000, but was 7,000 better than estimates of 240,000. More importantly, last week's report was revised lower from 220,000 to 216,000. Now, I'm not going to get into all the technical weeds, but it does give us some indications that we're looking at a strong January jobs report, which will be released on February 2nd. New home sales, which measures signed contracts on new homes, down 9.3% in December at an annual rate of 625,000. The market was expecting a 7.2% drop. Last month's figures, which was the best number in 10 years, was revised lower from 733,000 to 689,000. Still the best number in 10 years. And while this report is definitely a miss, putting things in perspective, sales are still 14.1% higher on a year-over-year basis. 295,000 new homes for sale at the end of December. The median price on those new homes, record high of at 335,400, while the average sale price was $398,000. So a lot of technical stuff there, but that's the Mortgage Minute. There are some people that like the technical stuff within the mortgage market, and our friends at Gold Star Mortgage are there to watch all of that for you. But let's chat about your taxes. Some people are into the tax season right now. I know that last I saw was, I think January 29th is when the IRS will start accepting tax returns. I'm going to tell you later on in the broadcast, if you file on the 29th, when you should expect your tax refund, if you're due a refund. But the big news of December, and actually ever since December, has been the tax law change. Right, there's a massive change in taxes. A lot of companies are giving out bonuses. I think there's almost 190 companies now giving out bonuses. So that's some real good news. But what is it going to mean for IRAs? And Kaaren Hall is here. She's got that information.
What a coincidence.
Tell us, Kaaren, what does that mean?
Well, fortunately, it means just keep on saving is what it means. It means actually they raised the contribution limits for some IRA accounts like SEP, so you can contribute a little bit more. And also the 401k, you can contribute more to your 401k, $500. Yeah, and so, if you have a 401k where you you work, contribute to it, because if your employer's matching, that's free money, and we absolutely have to save for retirement. Now, self-directed IRAs, that's something different. That's saying that you can take your IRA and invest outside the stock market, and that's what we do. But one of the things that changed about IRAs with these tax laws is that they removed something called a recharacterization. So, what's that?
Yeah, exactly. That was what I was going to say.
So you've heard about the backdoor Roth, so that's kind of a timely topic.
I haven't heard that one either.
All right. Well, there are these tax laws in 2010.
Backdoor Roth.
Yeah, so if you make too much, you can't contribute to a Roth IRA.
Okay.
Roth IRAs have these income limits. But you can convert regardless of income because of some law that passed in 2010. So if you say you make $1 million, well, yeah, I mean, obviously you have to check with your tax person. But if you make enough to contribute to a SEP, which is a Simplified Employment Plan, SEP, you have to be an employer. Say you put $55,000 in a SEP. Today, if assuming you qualify to do that, you can convert to Roth tomorrow, regardless of your income. So maybe you couldn't go in the front door to contribute to a Roth because you made too much, but you contributed to your SEP and then converted, and then because you did that, you've got a backdoor Roth. You went in through the back door.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Before 2018, if you did a Roth conversion, you took your pre-tax IRA dollars and you converted them over here to Roth, and you got a 1099, you paid your tax on that conversion, that's great. But maybe you converted and now you're sitting in front of your tax person and they say, well, here's your tax bill. And you're like, what's this? It's too much. I want to recharacterize my Roth conversion. I want a do-over. So let's recharacterize that. Let's pretend I never did it. I want a do-over. And recharacterize that money. Yeah, and recharacterize it back to traditional or the pre-tax money or the SEP money. So you used to be able to have a do-over with a Roth conversion. Now you don't. 2018, if you convert pre-tax money into Roth dollars in 2018, you don't get that do-over. You don't get to take a recharacterization. That's what changed for IRAs. It's not just self-directed IRAs. IRAs are IRAs, whether it's self-directed or not. The rules are the same, and this applies to all IRA accounts. So good to know. I mean, when you convert to Roth because the growth is going to be tax-free for life.
So let me just before we continue on with the growth, because I love that idea too. If I go to my tax person and use the terminology backdoor Roth,
yes,
are they going to know what that means?
Yes, they are.
Okay,
yeah.
And the same with the
recharacterization, yeah.
Okay, because one of the, you went through this real quick because you understand it.
It's a lot of jargon,
right?
yeah.
I'm a simple guy, but the bottom line to me, the bottom line of what Kaaren just shared with us is, you may want to talk to your tax person and have them explain while you're sitting there and paying them. We're educating you in a quick format. I've got 22 minutes to chat with Kaaren.
It takes a while to understand.
And what we want you to know from what Kaaren shared is there is something called a backdoor Roth. Talk to your tax person. And recharacterizing your IRA, again, your tax person is going to know these terms. So check with them and see if it applies to you, right?
Correct.
Okay, so let's continue with what our changes are here.
Well, that's pretty much it, which is nice. I mean,
wow.
So there's I belong to something called RETA, the Retirement Industry Trust Association. I sit on the board, and we're as an organization, we're part of the Save Our Savings Coalition, which is a coalition.
Save Our Savings.
Yeah, Save Our Savings. Yeah, and so it's a coalition of a lot of really big companies, including like Northern Trust and so many really, really big companies, like an amalgamation of all these.
That means you get to go to the golf tournament with them.
Well, if I golfed, yeah. So the point is that all these companies and organizations grouping together to say, look, save our retirement savings. Don't touch this. This is so vital to America. You know that right now, 10,000 people turn 65 every day and will for the next decade, all the baby boomers.
Sure.
Well, if we can't...
And that's like my week this week. I've already been to 2 funerals. So
Oh, no. Well, if you heard our savings, what we're saving for retirement, then only the government is going to be able to take care of the elderly if we can't save for ourselves now.
And something, I don't know if anyone wants to do that.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, I would too. I would have a bad feeling about it too, because it's just too vital. We can't have the more people are older than babies. There are more older people than babies right now, and that just has never really happened in human history. It's about a year ago we hit that mark where the first time in human history the older people outnumbered the babies.
And yesterday, if you don't believe or don't understand some of the things Karen's talking about, go back, I think it was yesterday, the day before, we did a broadcast on the 4% rule that most Americans don't know about. So if you didn't catch that 4% rule, it's very, very important. Maybe if we have time, Kaaren and I will talk about it a little bit later in the broadcast. But we've got a couple other things. Cryptocurrency. What's the big one?
Right.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
You want to talk about that one as well? So we're going to chat with Kaaren about that as well. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, a Bitcoin chat. And if you're considering selling your real estate, should you do it now or should you wait? And 2018 estimated tax refund schedule. We've got all of that still on our docket for today. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender. Licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Little shaking this morning if you've been doing a little... I should have some rock and roll music. Yeah, we got a 4.2 earthquake, Trabuco Canyon this morning. That was
felt that.
You felt that?
Oh,
one?
yeah, woke me up.
2 o'clock didn't wake me. I mean, I must be. I don't know. I'm a hard sleeper, or I don't know. And a 5.8 earthquake off the Northern California coast, 8:39 today. So, little's rock and roll. Now, I don't know. I when I went to school, I couldn't even figure out how to spell science, no less do any of the other things that scientists do. But it seems to me that maybe with all this, the smaller earthquakes that we've been getting in Southern California, does it release any pressure off of us having one of those big, massive ones that seem to be going around the rest of the world? I don't know, but we'll find out. The Real-Time Real Estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Get that ultimate home finance toolkit. Text toolkit. No space, toolkit to 79564. If you're considering selling your real estate, act now. Definitely an aggressive headline. However, as the final data on the 2017 housing market rolls in, we can definitely say one thing. If you're considering selling, it is time to list your home. How did we finish 2017? New home sales were at their highest level in a decade. Sales of previously owned homes were at their highest level in more than a decade. Starts of single-family homes were their strongest in a decade, and applications to build such properties advanced to the fastest pace since August 2007. Bloomberg Business just reported America's housing market is gearing up for a robust year ahead. Builders are more optimistic, demand is strong, and lean inventory is keeping prices elevated. The National Association of Realtors revealed that buyer traffic is stronger this winter than it was during the spring buying season last year. The only challenge to the market is a severe lack of inventory. Not enough properties available for sale. A balanced market would have a full 6-month supply of homes for sale. Currently, there is less than a 4-month supply of inventory. This represents a decrease in supply of 9.7% from the same time last year. Bottom line, with demand increasing, supply dropping, may be the perfect time to get the best price for your home. Let's chat about it. Give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment. Get your toolkit, the Ultimate Home Finance Toolkit. Text toolkit to 79564. We are chatting this morning. Kaaren Hall, Direct IRA Services, is our guru when it comes to self-directed IRAs. And I'm going to suggest, now this is kind of self-serving, so Kaaren wouldn't say it, but I will, because it doesn't serve me in any way. If you decide to move companies, and I had a professor at Chapman when I was there 100 years ago, that he was the CEO at one time of Hunt Wesson Foods, and he said the only way to move up the ladder in corporate world is every 2 to 3 years or 4 years you need to change jobs, and you need to only take an increase in location or status. So you can't go from VP to VP. You got to go from VP to a higher level. So you have to move up the food chain, and you must get a raise, because going up the food chain without more money doesn't let you eat anything more. Now, if you do that, I'm going to submit to you that you should always, and I don't have a license anymore, but you should always take your 401k away from the company that you're with and put it into something that you control. You can do a rollover or something along those lines, but it opens up the world to a whole lot more opportunity for you. One of those opportunities when you leave that 401k, if you decided to change jobs, is you can put it into the self-directed world.
Yes, you can, and invest outside the stock market.
Right.
So, yeah, into like real estate, or maybe your IRA lends money and is the bank and makes a note, or maybe your IRA invests in private stock. Maybe you've got a friend starting a company, your IRA can invest in that company.
So, it's like, but the bottom line, Kaaren, is you can do anything, right?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, you have to follow the law. That's what Karen's specialty is. Not being a lawyer, but
correct. And that's you call our office. That's we talk to you about the rules. Yeah.
Right. So you get that information, but if you go to your HR department and say, something, I want to buy a house with my 401k. Probably not going to be part of that program.
Well, it would have to be for an IRA to do. It would have to be a rental house. Has to be an investment property only. Yeah, but your IRA can do it. But and your HR person probably won't even know or understand this. It's like a best kept secret.
Right. So it's to me, the biggest problem that I see in the majority of IRAs that I look at or 401ks that I look at is people are too concentrated.
Oh, in one asset class?
In one asset class
Yeah.
or even one asset.
Oh.
Right? I mean, look at all those poor people that were forced to keep Enron stock.
I'm thinking eggs basket, right?
Right.
You don't want them all in one.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But remember all those people way back
Oh,
when
the Enron,
in
sure.
Enron,
They lost everything.
and they lost everything.
Yeah, terrible.
Right? I mean,
Tragic.
right now, you know, it's hard to watch because one of the bellwether stocks, and we're not giving any kind of stock advice this morning, but one of the bellwether stocks for ages has always been General Electric.
Right.
Right? And look what's going on with their stock. Right? I mean, there's a lot of people that set it and forget it. Right?
No, you got to wake up and take charge. You have to.
And that's what part of the world of the self-directed IRA is, right? I mean,
Exactly.
if you want to buy investment property, or as you suggested, if you want to be the bank for a certain kind of a note or something like that,
Or even precious metals. Your IRA can hold the actual metal, yeah.
Now, the one of the items that is a very, very scary item, and I say scary because one of the great signs of the world, when I was at Merrill Lynch back in the 90s, one of the bellwether ideas of how to determine when you were in for a big correction
Right.
was when the water cooler discussion was of the stock market in that time. Right? Everyone was talking about the .com.
Yes.
And boy, I became a millionaire on paper last night on the .com world.
Right.
Right? And all of a sudden, the rug gets pulled out.
It did.
So right now we're looking at, and I've got on my computer screen, Bitcoin. And I think the trading range on Bitcoin for this month is probably about $10,000 a coin. Something along those
so
lines.
that's where it is about right now. It's been very volatile. But it's not just Bitcoin, but it's what Bitcoin is based with, which is the blockchain technology. That is some new technology that's really interesting and deserves investigation. So people want to invest in it, and there are ways, I suppose, to go on the stock market and find some way to invest in it. But you can also have your IRA invest in Bitcoins, Ethereum. There are different kinds of.
Well, I'm looking at
Litecoin.
Bitcoin right now. It was the high was 16,828. Today we're looking at.
I think it got up to 19, almost 20,000.
Did it really? I'm just
Yeah.
maybe that was at intraday or so. I'm just
Yeah.
looking. Maybe it was.
It probably was.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just looking
Yeah.
at kind of a range here. But yeah, you're right. Back in December, it was at 19,067.
Yeah.
So, but the point here is, are you able to hold Bitcoin in a self-directed IRA?
You can.
If you want to.
You can. So there's some steps to the process. So we'll talk about, like, say, 3-4 steps, all right? First, step 1, you open a self-directed IRA account.
Okay.
Got that. Step 2, your IRA account invests in what's called an IRA-owned LLC. It's a special purpose LLC, and I'll tell you more if you want to call me. So we'll just say, start with the IRA account. The IRA opens an IRA-owned LLC, a special LLC. That LLC, once it's funded, opens a wallet, a Bitcoin or a cryptocurrency wallet, and that wallet, and then the LLC's wallet invests in cryptocurrency. So it's really, it's you see how it steps away from the actual IRA, but the IRA is ultimately the owner of those assets.
Now, it gets kind of confusing here because you shared that we can own a rental property.
Yes.
Within there.
Yes.
And I saw just recently in Florida, there was a condo complex that was only selling, and they'd only accept Bitcoin as the method of purchase.
Sure. Well, it's the wave of the future. I think it's risky, it's scary, it's untested. What is it based on? There are a lot of questions you have to ask yourself. But investment is based on risk. Is this the future or is it not? So it's up for you for each one of us to decide: is this an investment that I want? But the fact is, whether you want it or not, if you want your self-directed IRA to invest in it, it can. I have a really good, very simple graphic that explains how to do it. So if you want to email me at khall, KHALL, at the letter directira.com, I'll send you this basically very simple picture. It's from here to here to here of the process of how your IRA can invest in a cryptocurrency
Maybe you can
wallet.
even get you to post it right there on the show notes.
Hey, I'd love to. Sure.
So we can get some not only
Yeah.
That way you'll be able to reach Kaaren at any time, but you'll also get some information on this, because I'm going to share with you personal opinion. I am not licensed to give any advice, but my personal opinion, I'd stay away from Bitcoin. It's just, you have to really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's with anything, right? I mean,
Right.
especially if you're any kind of an investment, the whole idea is you need to know what you're doing. Don't go in blind.
Right, like with the herd.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to.
Herd mentality.
That's what gets a lot of people.
Was it a sheep? There you go, a goat.
Right? So
Yeah.
you got to be careful.
Yeah, you
Right?
do. Especially when it's your retirement money. Oh my gosh, this is precious money. You can only set aside so much, so be so careful.
Well, and I'm going to suggest as well, and I share this with real estate people a lot, is the self-directed IRA is a great tool to allow you to invest your future into something that you're probably most knowledgeable in.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
a real estate person is most knowledgeable in real estate, but you're putting your IRA in the stock market, which you don't know anything about.
And you don't have any control over it, really.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're into the banking world, right, you may know a lot about lending. So why don't you use your own IRA for certain lending activities, right? As long as you're not getting yourself in trouble with your compliance department. I don't want to promote that in any way. But the idea here is, you know about lending.
Yeah.
You could put your IRA
You're an
there.
expert. Yeah.
Right?
You can.
So these are all different issues. We're going to talk more to Kaaren about this when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. How long will it take you to get your tax refund? We'll chat about that one as well. There's a couple people want to know that information. So we'll share projections. You know, the government, we can't tell you exact, but we can give you some projections on that. You remember, you can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Good morning, Belle, Christopher, Christina, Dolores. Glad to see you with us this morning. Sid, Arn, David, glad to see you with us. Haven't seen you in a long time. Edwin, there's a lot more on there. That's all we're going to go through right now. You can reach me anytime, off-air number. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and DRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal DRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has these solutions for you. Just go on there, register on the website. They'll send you an update with some ideas for you once a week, giving you ideas on how to help your credit situation. That's just the way it works. And the tax refund schedule. If you're looking for a big tax refund this year, you may have already done your taxes. They may be sitting there just waiting to file on the 29th when the IRS starts accepting the tax refunds or tax returns. And who knows with the way they're talking about with some of the with maybe another shutdown the beginning of February with the government shutdown. They'll accept your money. They might not send it back quite as quickly. So 21 is a magic number for the Internal Revenue Service. That's the average number of days the IRS says it normally takes for the turnaround of a tax return when a refund is due the taxpayer. But the way you file and how you request a refund can have a lot of impact on how long it takes for your money to show up. If you e-file and select direct deposit, you're likely to get your refund a lot more quickly than if you mail in a paper return and wait for a paper check to be mailed back to you. And that also is much more risky because putting a tax return in the mail, I don't know. And then if you wait for the refund, there are those scammers out there. You don't think they're watching your mailbox at the same time as they're looking for your Amazon packages? Just think about that one. So one important caveat, if you claim the earned income tax credit, the additional child tax credit, and are waiting for a refund, don't expect it to get it before February 27th. That's because the IRS is required to hold your refund until mid-February if you claimed either of these two credits. So the IRS acknowledges that February 27th is the earliest the earned income tax credit or the additional child tax credit refunds will be available. File on January 29th. You can expect your refund e-file with direct deposit February 12th. That will be the day that you'll be looking for. If you want to take me to dinner that day, that's fine as well. If you're anticipating a refund, if you e-filed with the refund mailed to you, look out for February 20th. That would be the one. Anticipated refund if you paper return filed with a direct deposit. Then you get February 26th. And the worst one of all would be the paper return with a refund by mail, March 5. That is the numbers right there. That's all based on the very earliest numbers. If you file February 12th, then the number is going to be February 26th is the direct number. And if you want the full chart, just give me a call at 800-306-1990, or actually just send me an email that will get that off to you as well. Continuing our conversation with Kaaren Hall, Directed IRA Services, is our guest. I guess before I even get to chatting with Kaaren, I should tell you this report came out this morning as well. Whoops, not that one. That button right there is the one we wanted. Freddie Mac told us that the 30-year fixed rate loan, 4.15%, that's the perfect number, and you have to pay on average 0.6 of a point to get it. Last year it was 4.19 at this time. So the interest rates are going up as we've suggested. They seem to go up this time every year. So just a thought for you, then they start dropping back down a little bit down the road. Continuing our conversation again, Kaaren Hall, Directed IRA Services. So Kaaren, we were talking before the break about the idea that you can really invest in that which you really know about.
Yeah, you can. And so it's so many different kinds of asset classes. And so to do this, it's a 3-step process. Open an account, fund it by rolling over an employer plan or transferring an IRA or making a contribution. So open it, fund it, and then invest. And so what you can invest in, again, most people invest in real estate in some form. Maybe it's a partial, maybe they're going to partner with other people to invest in real estate, or they're going to maybe buy raw land, or they're going to maybe buy an apartment building like commercial real estate, make a note to buy real estate, or a trust deed, like a secured trust deed on real estate. So real estate is really the primary focus of most of the investments that we see.
So let me ask you this concept, and I don't even know if it works within the self-directed IRA world. If, I'm hypothetical, because I don't like the concept at all, but I'm just going to throw this out there.
Okay.
I want to retire in Florida.
All right.
Right? And could I buy a house today in my self-directed IRA?
Right.
And I'm not going to retire probably for 20 years.
Right.
Let it go, just stay in that. And then do I have to sell it when I want to retire, or can I, how do you convert at that point? Because I know you can't live in it, you can't benefit from it.
You can't, no, but you have to be really, really careful about how you do it, because your intention must be to keep that property as a rental property, as an investment property. So if the IRS came to you and said, hey, look, you're living in this house your IRA used to own, you need to show the IRS that your intention has always been to have it as an investment. And so keep a journal of that property. Like, for example, when you bought it, the improvements you made, copies of the articles that you sent, that you published, the classified ads for renters, or maybe and that sort of thing, that your intention was always to have it as a small little, cash flow little asset right there.
Sure.
So you can prove that. Now you're retired and you think, wow, where am I going to live? Well, wait a minute, my IRA owns this house. I just decided today that I'm going to live in that house. So what you do is you get an appraisal, and the appraisal has a value. You give us a withdrawal form along with that appraisal showing the value. We disperse the asset to you like any other withdrawal of an asset. And now the asset is titled in your name. So now that house is titled in your name, and you receive a 1099 for the market value, the appraised value of that house. So then when you go to file your taxes, it's like, here's a 1099. I get to pay income taxes on this amount that I took out of my IRA, assuming it's a traditional or a pre-tax account. And so it will become taxable to you at that time.
Okay, so it's something that you just need to get great counsel on.
Right, and that's what we do every day. People call us and, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. How do I do this? And, I'm looking at self-directing, and how do I do this so that it follows the rules? And we help you, but of course, the onus is always on the investor to make sure that they're doing it correctly.
And if you're planning properly, and you've got, and I know that Kaaren subscribes to this also, is you want to make sure that you're consulting with your household board of directors.
Exactly. Your
right?
lawyer, your CPA, your advisors. You have to have a handful of trusted advisors. Your realtor, make sure they're in on it. What do they think?
And you might want to, then you can deal with timing. Right, because if you've got a large loss that you're dealing with on your taxes.
Oh, maybe so, sure.
Right, that might be the right time to say, something, this is, and that really would probably prove the point that you were talking about, Kaaren.
Yeah.
Is, I have this loss, and I figured that I can take the money out of my IRA to offset the loss. Mm-hmm. And if I didn't have that loss, I wouldn't have done it.
It might lower your taxes,
And you're managing the taxes at that time.
You sure could. So I assume at that time.
Right. Just remember that again, it's all about consulting with the professionals, getting the great counsel.
Yeah.
I need down 20 years from now, who knows what they plan.
And there are rules that we can work with, and as long as you know the rules, then you know how to play the game. So learn the rules, and that's what we're here to help you understand.
Is the self-directed IRA something new?
No, it's not. That's great, because it was when Gerald Ford signed the ERISA laws into effect in 74, they went to effect in 75. That's when you could self-direct your IRA. So 43 years, longer than a lot of your listeners have been alive,
sure.
Ron, right? So
exactly.
The people, they never heard about it, so they think, oh, this is something new. I never heard about it. It's 43 years you've been able to self-direct your IRA.
So the bottom line here is if you didn't know about it, you need to consult with other or more professionals.
Yes.
Right? Because they should have been, if it's something that's of interest to you. Now, the other part of it is a lot of us don't even know the questions to ask.
That's why we're here. Yeah.
So we didn't know to ask our CPA or enrolled agent or our tax planner about a self-directed IRA, so they never thought of telling us about it.
You didn't know it was a choice.
Yeah, so the whole idea here, Ron Siegel Radio, is to give you questions. I could give you all kinds of answers. You're not going to remember them. They're not going to apply to you anyway in most instances because everybody's situation is unique. The information I want you to know is if you've got a good size IRA, or if you want to think about investing it on your own, give me a call at 800-306-1990. Not that I know about it, but I know Karen's phone number, and I know how to reach her, and I can put you in touch. I can introduce you. That's the idea of what we're talking about in this situation. If you need a enrolled agent, a tax planner, CPA, CFP, any one of those other acronyms, right? JD. Hey, we can even put you in touch there,
PDQ.
too. There you go. Exactly, Kaaren. So that's the idea. Give us a call at 800-306-1990, and be sure to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today, and of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
I'd like to call him something. I think I'll just call it a day. Pour me something tall and strong. Make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30, but I don't care. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.